Hi, my name's John Giarrizzo, and welcome to FAM at the YAM. So we're here today at the Yellowstone Art Museum, and I'm honored to be standing in the gallery, one of the two galleries that are holding my work in this one-person exhibit. And I'd like to thank particularly Lisa Rinaldo and Amanda and all of the staff at the Yellowstone Art Museum for giving me this opportunity to have this show. Also have to reach back and thank Donna Forbes and Gordon McConnell, who helped create this museum years ago when I had my first exhibit and when I first started teaching in Wyoming, and was able to turn to the Yellowstone, what was then the Art Center, and come up here with my students and provide them with an opportunity to see quality contemporary art in the region, something that hard to find when you're teaching in a community college in Wyoming, and it became such an important resource for me and for my students as an art teacher. And it was my dream when I first started teaching in Powell at the time that one day I would have a piece in an exhibit at the Yellowstone Art Center. And that indeed did happen, thanks to Gordon McConnell searching me out. And eventually that led to a one-person exhibit I had back in 1992, which was entitled Guardian Children. At that time, it was still the Yellowstone Art Center, and Donna Forbes' dream of a museum was yet to be realized, but shortly thereafter, the Art Center shut its doors and the renovation began, and the new museum opened up. And so here we are in 2021, and I'm standing again in the Yellowstone Art Museum, surrounded by my work, and want to celebrate that and express what a great privilege it is to be here today and to have my work celebrated by the Yellowstone Art Museum. So thank you all. As a working artist and as a teacher, I've always been influenced by the Italian masters, and have always pursued drawing the figure along that tradition, in that classical tradition. And only after traveling to Italy and actually seeing the work up close, the monumental scale of the work, the power of the figurative tradition, did it occur to me that I wanted to find some way of incorporating the Italian masters into my own work. And hence the Guardian theme emerged after pairing up some of the drawings that I had done of some of the villagers in Italy in my first few trips to Italy, when I would sit on the bench and draw the people of the village. And then I would return to my studio in Wyoming and find a passage from, I chose Caravaggio as the focus of my work and kind of the representation of that classical tradition. And so if you notice in the painting, in this particular painting of Cara, which I call Grace Before Supper, I incorporate a passage from Supper de Moss by Caravaggio in the background. And it's just the painting in the foreground is referencing some of the paintings I did from life of the model. So it's the same pairing, simple juxtaposition to create a narrative and a composition. So in this one you can see the references Caravaggio's 7 Acts of Mercy, and you can see I've quoted the bottom half of the painting. And it's all about just creating composition. So those 4 widows that sit in front of 7 mercies seemed like a nice pairing. One of the things about this painting I remember when I was doing it that particularly caught my attention was the women were all like my grandmothers, protecting their purses that were sitting. These women were sitting in front of a church in Siena, Italy. And I liked the fact that there was this guy crawling under the bench that was possibly trying to take their purses. And they knew it, so they were holding on tight to their. That was a little humor that came out of the painting, and I didn't expect that to happen, but that was one of the unexpected results of the composition. Okay, so this is a Playground Mercies triptych, and you can see I reference the same painting of Caravaggio as Seven Mercies. In this case, the angels from the top of his composition fall into the bottom half of the triptych composition. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen and watch, and I hope what you take away from the experience of seeing my work is that drawing is accessible to anyone. As a teacher, I would tell my students I dismissed the notion of talent. And I really believe that anybody who wants to, who chooses to, has the ability to draw. It's just a matter of learning to draw by learning to see. Open our eyes and pay attention and observe our everyday life. That real art comes out of our individual lives and our own individual experiences. So that is the center of your universe. And it is the most valid expression of who we are by just paying attention to the life that goes on around us, opening our eyes and allowing ourselves the experience of observing without judging and making decisions based on what we see, not what we know. And the result is one day you might have an exhibit in a gallery like this, and it'll feel good, and it's a real honor to be part of it. So I just want to thank you all for paying attention and giving me the opportunity to speak to you and share my work with you. Thank you.
All right, everyone. So today for Fam at the YAM, we're going to take advice from John Giarrizzo, and we're going to focus on what we see and not what we know. So my challenge for you is to find something in your house or in your yard and think about the way that the light hits it. Maybe it's the light from a lamp, maybe you set up the light from your cell phone, maybe it's really sunny out, and so you get really nice shadows and highlights on whatever object it is that you choose. So let's go find an object in a museum and we can take a look at the light and how it hits that object. I'm gonna grab my stuff here. I've just got a simple piece of paper and a clipboard, and also I've got two different colors of pencil here. So let's take a look, see what we can find. And it's really sunny out today, so this will be perfect light for what we're gonna do. And I think that this is a great object that we could draw today, thinking about the light and the shadow. I feel like this side has the best light and shadow. I've got a lot of light hitting it here from the reflection of the sun, as well as up top here. And then some nice deeper shadows as you come around the side. So I'm gonna start here, not by drawing the shape, but drawing what I see using the shadow and the highlights. I'm gonna sit down. I want to focus on the darkest areas first. And you can use any medium that you want if you've got colored pencils at home, or chalk pastels or oil pastels, whatever color it is, or whatever medium it is you want to use. Thinking about all of those shadows. Even gonna look at the shadows on the inside of that circle, all of the dots. And as we keep drawing, I'll keep looking at all of those different things. So what I want you to go do today is go and find an object that you can draw using just light and shadow. I hope you guys have fun. We'll see you back at the YAM soon.